Hello and welcome to Qatar, the Lusail International Circuit, just half an hour after the opening MotoGP qualifying session of 2024 has been completed, and what a session as well. It will come as no surprise that Jorge Martin, the man second in the World Championship last year, of course, still riding for the Prima Pramac Racing Squad, has picked up where he left off, once again proving that on outright, electric, pure speed, nobody can get close to him. A new fastest ever lap of this Qatar circuit to take pole position ahead of his good friend Aleix Espargaro, the Aprilia man, taking the fight to the Ducatis. On the outside of the front row, there's a factory Ducati, a Ducati Lenovo 2 machine, but it's not that of the world champion. It's Enea Bastianini. We did think, given his performances in pre-season, that the beast was back, and so far, so good for him. He's proving that he is right in the mix for this world championship in 2024 after a disastrous 2023. Listen to this for a blockbuster row 2 of the grid as well. You know for certain that there are going to be some elbows coming from the guys on this second row of the grid. Brad Binder will start 4th, looking to try and take the fight to the Ducatis with his orange KTM. And then 5th, the world champion Pecco Bagnaia. Not really the start that the Italian would have wanted. Middle of the second row for him. And he's got next to him Marc Marquez, the Gresini racing man, for his first ever sprint on a Ducati, will line up on the outside of row 2 of the grid. On to row 3, where we find Fabio Di Gianantonio, of course, was victorious here the last time we visited Qatar in November. What can he do on debut for the Pertamina Enduro VR46 squad? I knew that it would happen once. And what can rookie Pedro Acosta do? Sensationally made his way through practice, inside the top 10, was 6th fastest in that 45-minute session first thing this morning, then backed it up in qualifying as well. 8th in the end for the Red Bull Gas Tech Trois man, and he'll be joined on that row through the grid by Alex Marquez, who did finish that practice session fastest, so he has proved that he has the pace as well. Try and pick a winner out of those 9 riders. I mean, you can go even further back as well, where we still are going to have some contenders with the likes of Maverick Vinales, Jack Miller, and Raul Fernandez as well. For me, it's going to come surely from one of the guys on those front 3 rows of the grid. And given what he was able to do last year, given the fact that he was anointed the sprint king of 23, Jorge Martin surely has to go into this one later on, which is lights out at 7 o'clock local time here in Qatar. So make sure you set your alarms for that one. Martin will without doubt be the favourite. The question comes down to, can anybody take the fight to him? As the first, you might be able to hear in the background, Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup race of the season gets underway behind me. Once you've finished with Inside The Paddock in around 15 minutes time, then you can head over to the Asia Talent Cup YouTube channel and listen to the first race of the year for those guys. Because coming up before the MotoGP sprint is Moto3 qualifying, and the man that goes into Moto3 qualifying, potentially in the best shape is this man, Danny Holgado. How are you? All good?
Yeah, all good.
We were just saying, you're coming to qualifying later after a good start so far in practice. Confident?
Yeah, of course. Yesterday was a very positive day for me because I finished in P1. Good start, yes, but today is more important.
Absolutely, it always is. More important as we go through the weekend. You had a bit of a crash in pre-season. Everything okay now, fully fit?
No crash for me.
No?
For me, no.
I thought you injured your wrist.
In Portimao, yes. Was a bit high side, but I am okay. In Jerez was a bit difficult for me because I have pain on the left corners, but now I am perfect.
Danny, good to see you. Good luck this afternoon.
Thank you. Yeah, this afternoon I think it's very difficult because a lot of riders are strong, but I need pushing very hard for the qualifying.
Good man. Good luck.
Thank you, mate.
Good to chat with Danny Holgado, who will get himself ready very soon indeed for Moto3 qualifying, which is up next. We're live 4:45 local time here in Qatar on the MotoGP video pass and app as well. So if you want to tune in for that, then please do. Q1 first, then Q2. First qualifying sessions of the year for the lightweight class, and it's going to be interesting to see where the balance of power lies. See if we can find someone with a little bit of MotoGP experience to be able to tell us how things went in qualifying. It is a busy paddock here, I do have to say. Normally we come to Qatar and there's not that many people floating around, but I'm pleased to report that so far so good in 2024. It looks as though this is, without doubt, as busy as I've ever seen it. I'm being dragged in this direction here to try and have a word with someone. Who have we spotted? Who's going to be able to give us the inside line? Sophia, our social media expert and one of the producers, is always on the ball, always able to spot a guest ahead of me. She's got eagle-eyed vision, but looks as though I can't see anybody. But anyway, I'll crack on and tell you about what happened in MotoGP qualifying then, because as I said, it was Martin who was blisteringly fast, in the end taking pole position by a good quarter of a second, again proving just how good he is when he has to go for one lap and have that outright electric pace. But the impressive thing is, Ducati are not going to have it their own way in 2024, or so it seems so far from what we've seen in practice and then again in qualifying. Alicia Sparger on the Aprilia, right in the middle of it, second on the grid. Brad Binder on the KTM, fourth on the grid. We've seen Pedro Acosta up there challenging as well. And you have to give a shout out to Raul Fernandez, who a late crash, unfortunately, meant that he wasn't able to make the most of a brand new soft rear tyre, which he wasn't able to have for his first run because he came through Q1. So he was frustrated at that, but at the same time, still a smile on his face and pleased that he was able to demonstrate that he did have the pace and he is able to contend. And you have to say as well, shout out to the Trackhouse squad, because there was disappointment for Miguel Oliveira, missed out on a place automatically in Q2 in practice by a fraction of a second. And then, once again, dragged around the likes of Johann Zarco and Jack Miller, who were the ones that bumped him further down the grid in Q1. So no doubt frustration for Miguel to have not been able to maximise his weekend, but some positive shoots of recovery after a difficult start to life in MotoGP at the back end of last year for Raul Fernandez, and then again so far in 2024. As we see, who have we got down here? Well, we've got Pecino. Don't really, well, we'll have a chat with him. I mean, he's not exactly the greatest interviewee ever, because he's a man with a big helmet on who doesn't speak. So, as you can imagine, very rarely do we actually get anything out of him. But anyway, he's been pointed out to me, so I'll have a word with him and see how he's going to get on, old Pacino. He's got his special Pecco fan club helmet, T-shirt on, of course with the 3 stars on the back to indicate the 3 World Championships. And here he is, one of my favourite guests. Good afternoon, how are you?
I'm good. I'm hot.
Very good. Can we hear him? I think so. What did you make of qualifying?
We had a bit of a problem, but we end up fifth, 5.
Good man, good man. Are you warm under there? It's quite hot today.
Yes, I'm very hot, but it's better than in Malaysia.
Well, yeah, that is true. And you have to wear this in Malaysia as well. I mean, are you able to shower in between sessions?
Yes.
Good idea.
Smart.
Okay.
Smart decision.
Well, good luck for later on today. Good man. There we go. Insight as ever. That is journalism, ladies and gentlemen. 3 years, a university degree I went to interview a man in a red suit with a big helmet on. Don't worry. If some of you at home one day aspiring to achieve those levels, then keep working, because one day it might happen to you too. What a moment. There we go. Right, we do see Johann Zarco here, and I'm going to grab a quick word with Johann if I can. He's just about to sit down with his manager, which I hate interrupting when they are talking away. I would like to maybe just catch his eye just to see if we are able to grab a quick word. No, he looks across and he's not looking like he's that interested in having an interview with us, is Johann. And maybe you can understand why as well, because he was able to not only challenge for a place automatically in Q2, but was oh so close to getting through from Q1 as well. A fraction of a second. For me, I know it might sound strange, but that's one of the performances of the day from Johann Zarco. The rest of the Hondas, again, not at the levels of competitiveness that they would have hoped, but Johann was so close to being the only non-European bike in Q2. A remarkable effort, and you can tell why he's frustrated there to have gotten so close, which would have been a huge result for him and the LCR squad, and just to miss out, understandable frustration for him. at the end of that. And in the end, we'll have to line up on row number 5 of the grid in 13th. Right, how are we doing on here? In fact, let's give you a sneak preview. We're struggling with guests, aren't we? But what I can do is show you a little bit of an exclusive of where the sprint podium is going to be held later on today. Because, I mean, it's maybe not an exclusive because it's exactly the same as what it was when we came here last time. But anyway, it's a preview in advance of where the top 3 in this afternoon's Tissot sprint are going to roll in later. As we see, actually, Raul Fernandez. Come on, Raul, don't help me out here. Help me out. Don't go anywhere. Here he is. Good man. I knew that someone would stop for me. Raul, how are you?
Hello, all fine. I'm really happy, really happy.
You should be as well. That was a great performance. You were unlucky not to go into Q2 directly, then put a great lap in Q1 and so close not to make the maximum of that brand new tyre at the end, but a lot of positives.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really happy with the team. I think we did a really good job, especially on FP2 this morning. Was really frustrated to do a really good lap time with the used tyre, and with the new one I crashed. So anyway, I think we had the pace. I'm happy. Will be really important the start, and we will see what we can do, because I think we have a really good pace.
You're loving this new bike, aren't you?
I like.
No,
Look
you don't like it. You love it, clearly.
Yeah, I love it. But also the colors look like another mine, no? Yeah. Everything is good, so let's go to enjoy.
We need to put some pressure on Raul in the comments as well, because he told me on Thursday that he's retired from football after I dribbled past him so many times last year. He doesn't want it anymore.
Pichichi, the problem is I need to be focused on my job. My job is try to do my maximum with the bike. I cannot play football.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. But anyway, good luck this afternoon. Good to chat with Raul, who was taking early retirement from the football games that we played before, and now given a chance to meet some of the new fans that have come to the paddock as well. Big smile as they get to meet their heroes, Raul Fernandez, and wish him luck as well. Thumbs up from everybody. I was going to show you where the sprint podium is going to be. It's actually here. In fact, Tony, I might get in trouble here, but if anybody asks, it wasn't me. Right, this is what's going to happen. So the bike's going to roll in here. We're going to have all of the teams, everyone celebrating. The bike that is victorious in the middle, they're going to jump on the top step there, get the gold medal and celebrate. The lights are going to be on. It's going to be quite the setting. In the comments, do let us know down below your predictions for the 1, 2, 3 in the sprint. Who is it going to be? Reminder of that grid. Martin, Espargaro, Bastianini, row 2. Binder, Bagnaia, Marc Marquez, row 3. Di Gianantonio, Acosta, and Alex Marquez. So, what do you think? Let us know. Who's going to be on that top step, receiving that gold medal in around 4 hours' time? With that, maybe not our finest inside the paddock, but as you can understand, riders, given the heat that we had in the Qatari desert, no rain today, thankfully. We wanted to get into those ice baths and cool off and refuel lunch-wise ahead of a big sprint later on this afternoon, 7 o'clock local time. Make sure that you put your alarms on. You're sat in front of the sofa. You sit down, you enjoy it, because it's going to be unmissable. The first points of MotoGP in 2024 are about to be awarded. We'll be back with you for another episode of Inside the Paddock, Friday of the Portuguese GP. So join us then. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. It's going to be a belter.